for the purpose of this masterclass, I'm gonna start the song and work on it chronologically, meaning start to finish. I start music in a lot of different ways, but I think for the masterclass purposes, I think it's best if we just start chronologically. So really quick, I'm gonna walk through my template. It's usually just blank like this, and I have 5 returns set up. Parallel reverb, just like super short, just in case I want to add a little bit of space to things. Parallel compression, parallel kick compression, parallel snare compression. So these are just dedicated for my kick and snare. And then like a parallel saturation. This just adds in like pretty wide top end into sounds. And then I have nothing on my master. And I have a ghost sidechain channel that I'm triggering sidechain with a rim. So that's just one of the ways I like to sidechain. The other method that I use is I use a third-party plugin called Duck, which is similar to LFO Tool. That's my favorite method, but I know a lot of people don't have this. Shout out to Dirt Monkey for showing me. But it's essentially LFO Tool, just a little bit easier to use in my opinion. A little less complex routing. You literally just pick whatever sidechain input you want on it. So I figured I'd show you guys that just in case you wanted to grab it. It's only like $25. But for the purpose of the masterclass, I'm gonna just use stock compression and a rim shot sample to trigger sidechain. So when I was starting a song, I like to just pick a theme. So what I did was went to Twitter and I asked my followers on Twitter what I like. I just like picking a random word to start a theme, even if it doesn't like hit or anything like that. And or like even if it doesn't stick throughout the entire song, like even if you just change directions, like it's cool to just use something to start a project. So Toad Wub said the Gangsta Life, and I thought of that makes me think of things like Dr. Dre's like whistle lead and stuff like that, like Ain't Nothing But a G Thing. So I thought that would be a good place to start, just because it kind of molds into my style, like kind of melodic experimental bass, I guess you can say. So pretty sure a Dr. Dre-esque lead is just going to be a sine wave, a saw wave, maybe like a little envelope on the cutoff. Just ever so slight. Give it a little bit of distortion. And just in case, like, I'll play like a little, just in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. It's like this kind of like. Like that kind of West Coast lead. Like that, that classic whistle lead. So I like sounds like that. Makes it feel kind of vintage. And speaking of vintage, let's just like add retro color on this. Really cool plugin to pick up if you guys don't have it already. I love this plugin just for like adding some humanistic feel to it, I guess you can say. Vintage feel. It sounds good. Like, add a little bit of vibrato onto it. That'd be cool. Take off the noise. Cool. So we'll come back to this. But just so we have it made, we'll just put that over here. Maybe utilize that as like a harmony piece for the drop. Or like maybe, a melody for our build or something. But first thing I like to do is just build some atmosphere around this. So I'm just gonna pick a random key. I guess I'll go with like E or something like that. Just because that's a pretty universal key for bass music. So let's start out with just some atmosphere. Who has good atmospheres? I have so many samples, by the way, so I'm going to try my best to get through these quick. Who has good ones? I think Effin has really good ones. Yeah, he does. That's kind of standard. We'll drop that one in. I kind of like that one. And that one. Those are all good. So now I'm just going to like create like super simple rhythms out of these. And the way I like to think about this is like I'm just giving my song a bed to lay in, pretty much. That's the way I like to think of it. So I usually just grab a chunk of the loop, like the atmosphere loop. So if it's like a vocal sample or something, like a vocal atmosphere, like by Kara, she has really good ones. Like I said, I'll just grab like a little chunk out of it and then just apply some effects to give it some rhythm. So like maybe drop an LFO tool on there. Yeah, something like as simple as that, just like a little air, I guess you can think of it as. Clean it up a little bit with EQ. Maybe a little subtle stereo, one of my favorite little presets in Ableton. Just a little auto pan. And we're just going to do a similar thing with these ones and just kind of like layer it up a little bit. And that one kind of takes up the same frequency range. Let's find a different one. These are some that I made. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. Let's maybe we can use this as like a pulse. So let's drag this over. We'll make this like our actual start point, right? Just so we have a little bit of space. And let's grab this, pitch it up to the key, and we'll like make this pulse with the tune. Right? We'll do like a little low impact. So yeah, like all pretty much like effects at this point. This is what I like to do at the beginning. Where is my favorite? This low impact is my favorite impact sample ever. Cool. And now let's add like Valhalla to this. Not sure if I'm sold on that vocal sample, but we'll figure that out later. Let's see what this one's about. I kind of like that, just that little chunk right here. Like, if that was just pulsing, this is so weird, but I can definitely make a little bit of something out of that. So let's, lots of audio manipulation in this masterclass, lots of it. So I'm just gonna take that little sample and make a little envelope just using fades. And I just want it to pulse every 2 bars. Just to give us, like, again, this is just like a heartbeat for the song, if you can think of it. Right? We'll put some dub echo on that. Nice. A little something. Maybe like a little bass line now, like just a Reese, and then we might change some of the notation in this ARP, or I mean in this atmosphere, to just kind of help support the note changes that we do with the bass. So let's just make like a super standard Reese. You all should know how to make a Reese by now. So I'll usually leave one oscillator just with no unison and then one cranked up. And then what I'll typically do is chain process it and have this one be the Reese layer, have this one be the sub layer, and I will cut. Usually I'll use Pro Q, but again, for the sake of the masterclass, I want to use as much Ableton stock as I can. And then I'll grab hip hop sub and put that underneath it. So it's just a nice clean mono sine wave underneath. So now let's just write a little evil bass line. That is not a bass. That almost sounds. I knew it. This is out of tune. That's why it sounds weird. So there we go. Cool. So this will be like kind of our start intro, nothing in it, and then we'll introduce. I'm just gonna put markers in it. I usually don't use markers, but whatever. Let's be organized today. Reese melody. You know what? I just had a panic attack. I'm gonna make sure I'm still recording. Cool. So now we'll just make like a super basic evil bass line. Cool. Let's get some portamento on this so it's gliding around. Same thing on this guy. So glides on, cool. I think we gotta adjust this. Cool. Sounds cool. All right, so now let's maybe add like, let's start a drum beat. Why not? Give us like a extra backbone for the song. So I'm just gonna search Sully kick. Try and use as many of my drums as possible for you guys. It's a good kick. And I actually was watching like the Leotrix masterclass for Forbidden Society. Just to get a feel for the structuring, make sure I was doing it right. And I noticed he also does this trick, which is take away some of the transient so that it doesn't hit as hard, as long as you find that like zero crossing point, maybe give it a little fade. I love that trick. I use that a lot. Especially for like intros and stuff, I usually don't want a full transient in there, so it can just help. But yeah, let's just let's put in a little kick pattern, and maybe like swing it a little bit, so it'd be like. Maybe push it forward a little bit more. Let's do that instead. Yeah, that's cool. That's nice and simple. I dig that. Maybe like push this one. Cool. Let's kick. Let's get a little clap in there. Do I have any claps? Have I made one? SULLY clap. I guess I could take stuff from old songs. Might take a minute. All right, I made this, and it just so happens to be in a very similar BPM, and it sounds cool. Cool. So what we'll do, I don't even know when I made this, but it sounds cool. I'm just gonna separate the clap from the perks in this case. Just so this will be like our top loop, I guess, channel, and yeah, use that there. Is that just loop? I wonder. I mean, it's a loop, but let's do that. But that way I have independent control over the tops, and I might even go and like separate these individual perk hits. Like I said, I don't even remember when I made this, but it sounds cool, so we're gonna keep it in there. And let's just like add a straight rhythm in there, meaning like just a very standard hat, like. Just something kind of moving on that quarter note pattern. And we'll give it a little track delay. Cool, let's get some sidechain going. So, super simple way to do this. Shout out to Chi. I think I saw him do this. And like, I don't even know where. But what he'll do is switch the drums to beats mode. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to duplicate this kick channel. But I do this when I have a little bit of groove and I want to apply that groove to the Ghost sidechain channel. What I'll do is I'll consolidate this clip, go to beats mode, push it to like this single transient, forward transient thing, bring the transient all the way down to 1 or whatever. And I will consolidate that first. And then you can take this clip and convert drums to MIDI. And I think it'll just give us, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted. So it gives us like the MIDI exactly where the transient of the drum is, which is pretty cool. Very OP. So I'll just drop that on there. And I think I saw, I'm just going to like go through this and make sure those are exactly on grid. like the ones that are on the downbeat. I think it was just that one. So those ones look right. Yeah. Narrow. Looks good. I think, I mean, there's just a few drum hits that are pushed. Cool. And then we just add our snare in, which is on. Copy a shorter one. Boom, 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 boom. There's our sidechain. Color that the same thing. And now I can get rid of this channel and we can start applying some sidechain. And for me, what I do on my template, I just leave the sidechain settings that I like on this one of these returns, because I use them on returns anyway. So that's like my way of hiding it in the project, I guess you can say, without loading up a bunch of tracks. So now I'll just drop this preset on there, which is pretty standard. And I will just start sidechaining some stuff. Let's loosely, well, maybe we'll start even organizing. I'm a very unorganized producer, but I'm gonna do my best for you guys. Clap, kick, cool. We'll group this all as atmosphere. Put some sidechain on that. Just to give the percussion a little bit of bounce. That'll be nice. Cool. And I also have this like preset that I made for my kicks. Just bring a little bit of that transient kickback. I might take EQ and just get what's below 40 out of there. Something like that. Cool. Now let's see if we can make a little lead melody. So we're in E. Maybe a little glide up. I want to take off, actually, I want to take down some of that wobble. Alright, let's diddle over here. Man, all I have is that West Coast, that like Dr. Dre melody in my head now. Maybe just do like a little dark melody. Maybe just something simple like that. Cool. How do we, let's record that in. Loop it a couple times and record it in. This is typically how I write my melodies. I'll just record it. like that. That's like a good minute or so of recording. Like, let's just find the best one in here. So, I kind of liked what I was doing at the beginning the most. This is nice and simple. Let's, okay, so I'm just playing on the 5, or the 1 minor second, 5 and 6. So let's just kind of write this in now. Maybe a little pitch glide. And we'll dress this up a little bit more later. I kind of dig that. Just a little West Coast melody, and like I said, I don't know if we're gonna use it or not, but in the drop, but at least in the beginning, I feel like it gives it a nice little. And now we can do a little bit of processing on it. Now that we got the melody down, so let's just do like a little bit of multi-band. Maybe a little bit of vinyl distortion or something. Another thing, since we have the portamento on, I'm just going to drag all these notes a little bit so that portamento kicks in on all the notes. And I got that like vinyl crackling going just to add a little bit of noise and texture. And actually, let's just find... Looks like we're going the whole West Coast, you know, lead. I don't know. That route, if you want to call it that. I don't really know what to call it. Something a little bit more subtle, like that. We'll just keep that going. I still think there's like too much of that like whiny frequency. That's better. Maybe like some bit crushing or something on it. Like I want it to be West Coast-esque, but I also don't want it to be annoying. I mean, I love that sound, but like I'm probably just not remaking it very good. I don't think that's better. Yeah, maybe it is fine. I don't know. Maybe it is okay. Let's try like maybe like a chorus, yeah. Something like that to make it sound like I'm trying to imagine what Dr. Dre would have been using in the studio, and it makes me think he's probably using like a Juno of some sort, which has a really nice chorus built into it, I believe. But that like actually we'll do like a little parallel reverb on it. Cool. It's a little start. Nice. Let's find a little vocal sample. Or a couple vocal samples just to kind of help tie everything together. How are we doing on this time? All right, 31 minutes. It's not too bad. So let's just spend like the next five or so minutes trying to find like a vocal theme to work with. I recently recorded my buddy Isaac. And so I'm going to, oh my gosh, this vinyl crackle is annoying me. Turn that off for the time being. I recently recorded my buddy Isaac, and I was thinking about maybe using one of his vocals. Let me see where that project is really quick. Projects, and it was like I remember it was a Alex Lustig type beat. Yep. Is it this one? Oh, there it is. Lust recording. Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and find a little blurb from his vocal to use in this tune. Just like it could be anything. And just see if we can, draw something from it and kind of give it it really reiterate the theme a little bit more. I always like to work with a vocal when I'm starting a song. It just helps me write, even if it's just like 2 words or whatever.
Holding on to every last dollar till I'm rich. But my girl a little still crawling, still balling in the mix. Yeah, I've been around.
Actually, kind of like
still
that.
Crawling, still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the.
I kind of like the still balling in the mix.
Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Yeah, I've been.
Yeah, let's just use that. Don't know if it's gonna work out, but we'll use it. And we'll just print it with this vocal processing on it. I don't know if it's good or not. Let's see here.
Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling.
Nice. Let's see if we can just get a little.
Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling.
Nice.
Still balling in the. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the. Still balling in. Still balling in. Still balling in it. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix.
Balling in the mix. I usually just turn the grid off when I'm warping stuff. It helps.
Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix.
Let's put it behind the drum. That would actually be a smarter move.
Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix.
There we go.
Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix.
There we go. Just a little warping and you're on your way. Cool. Let's just do that.
Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still balling in the mix. Still ballin' in the mix.
I think.
Still ballin' in the mix.
Nice. Cool. And let's just make this sound like telephony. So just actually, hopefully you guys have Pro Q. I'm actually gonna mute this atmosphere for now. I might only use it at the beginning. I'm not a huge fan of it over this part. But whatever, it all goes towards the purpose. Right? But yeah, what I like to do is use this phone preset in Pro Q and then do dub echo.
Still ballin' in the mix. 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 Still ballin' in the mix.
Nice.
Still ballin' in the mix. Still ballin' in the mix.
It's still not perfect.
Still ballin' in the mix. Still ballin' in the mix. Still ballin' in the mix. Still ballin' in the mix.
That's cool.
Still ballin' in the mix. Still ballin' in the mix.
Cool. Let's just keep adding some atmosphere pieces. Sometimes I literally just take like a synth hit, synth shot. Could be anything. Looking for something a little bit more pure tone. Nope. Oh, that's a good one. Like just nice and pure tone-ish, I guess, if you want to call it that. Not a whole bunch of processing on it. But what I do is I'll throw it in a sampler and just build on that atmosphere even more. So I'll just throw it in there. Something like that. And just build on this. It's going to go in this atmosphere bunch right here. So we have something going at this rate, right? So maybe I do something on the upbeat instead. So we'll do. And what key was this in? This was in G. So map it to G. Put a tuner on it. Make sure it wasn't incorrectly key listed, like this one. Nice. So maybe something like on the upbeat like this, just to give us another rhythm. And what I'll do is something called tone scoping. So I'll take a bunch of reverb. Almost give it like, let's just go for this like heartbeat thing. No, what could be cool is to go up a semitone at that last one. Dun.
Still ballin' in the mix. Still ballin' in the mix.
I feel like this is pitched down too much.
Still ballin' in the mix. Still ballin' in the mix.
Maybe I don't use that vocal. I'm just gonna mute it for now. Yeah, we'll just drop some like this OTT variation. It's a little something extra. Now let's just do one more for the sake of just to say we did it. So I want something every 4 bars on this one. So let's just grab another. Actually, let's find a vocal again because I didn't like that one. So vocal ad lib. Yeah. And then that we'll probably call it for this video, and then in the next video I'll work on getting to the drop essentially and like adding effects, building a little bit more on this, and kind of really hunkering down on the theme. Oh boy.
Flip it.
Maybe that's not what I wanted to. Let's just search Kara vocal. I know she's got good stuff. Kara vocal. Yeah, something like this, like a reverse. I guess I could have searched vocal reverse. I think that one's a little bit more simple than this one. Let me see what. Like this one almost seems like it's playing a fifth and a. So it's playing a third and the root. I think that's why it sounds too cluttered. So I'm just gonna mute that one and see what this one's doing. That one seems a lot more isolated on the root, and even if not, I'm going to make it so it is. Sometimes I like just doing this. Just, again, we'll call it tone scoping because I don't really know what else to call it. But I'm just gonna take these same effects that were on here to start. Go up. Right, and what we'll do is crank up the decay time a little bit. There we go. And then we'll have them alternate. So we'll have one that's up an octave, and then we'll do another one that's down an octave. Nice. That's cool. Cool. It's a start. It's a start. Right. I will see you guys in the next video, where we will we'll start getting to our drop essentially, and we'll work a little bit more with the vocal theme, and yeah, just keep kind of going down this rabbit hole. Hope you guys enjoy.